Welcome to New Stripe City, a YouTube channel for die-hard Bengals fans. I'm your host, Ace Boogie, and welcome to the new viewers and the returning die-hard subs to the channel. We do weekly interviews here and provide analysis on the latest Bengals breaking news. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you want to know how to subscribe, there's a button below this video, and we also provide a link in the video description. So if you're looking for that, it should be there. So we're here today to talk about Leonard Fournette. Leonard Fournette was released by the Jacksonville Jaguars. It came as a shocker, honestly. Like, some people are saying we expected to see this. I did not. I mean, I knew that they were going to move on from Fournette, but it seemed that they were going to try to trade him. But literally 2 weeks before the season, they decided to release Leonard Fournette this morning, which is crazy. On August 31st, Monday, they decide to release him, which is kind of puzzling because they're not getting anything for him. They claim that they tried to get a fifth or sixth. No one wanted him, and that's probably because most people figured that they would cut Fournette. So you're probably wondering, Ace, we already have Joe Mixon, we have Giovanni Bernard. Why in the world would we sign Leonard Fournette? This is why. The Bengals have the #1 waiver priority. There's tons of sense for this to happen. They have the #1 waiver priority, and it seems that Leonard Fournette can essentially be had for nothing. It seems that it's possible that none of his contract would be guaranteed for this next season. So you're talking about $4 million that will possibly have to be paid for by Jacksonville that the Bengals would not have to pay. The waiver priority for the Bengals is #1 all the way until week 3, which means is that they can go and get this guy for a value. A super value. Not only do they get this guy, they're getting a top 5 draft pick for essentially free. It makes perfect sense. And the only thing it does is it adds more depth to the locker room. It gives the Bengals more leverage in their negotiations with Joe Mixon. It also fills that room out. They could potentially only keep 3 running backs if they make this move, which allows them some roster flexibility in other areas. However, they still would probably have to wonder about how special teams will work in terms of that, but that's something that they could figure out later. The other thing is it gives them insurance. No position is ever safe. If you were to lose a Joe Mixon and a Giovanni Bernard, you end up in a situation that we had last season where you're trying to put in guys like Trevion Williams and some P. Ryan in other years, and it just doesn't work. So for me, from a depth perspective, it makes perfect sense. And then I think that this also encourages Joe Mixon to sign a deal immediately. And so that a lot of people are like, oh, why would you do that? But in the event that you don't, you get to essentially get a full season of what you could get from Leonard Fournette. Say, for instance, the Bengals don't re-sign Joe Mixon, right? They could see what Fournette could be, and they could have a replacement waiting in the wings. Instead of waiting to try to draft another guy next season, you already have Leonard Fournette on the team. It makes perfect sense. The other thing is Leonard Fournette comes from a place where he was used to being in a rotation with multiple backs. A lot of people that don't watch the Jacksonville Jaguars don't know that he was in a 3-man rotation. They had TJ Yoda and they had other guys there. So this wouldn't be anything new to him. And obviously, with him losing that spot and getting cut, he's really not in a position to say that he should demand to be a starter. The other thing is this immediately puts the Bengals in contention in terms of the running back rooms when you talk about the Ravens, when you talk about the other teams around the AFC North like the Browns. They've got Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, right? So this would be something that would give the Bengals a 3-headed monster that they could use as well. And some people are going to say, hey, how do you use all 3 guys? That's just something that they have to figure out. And it doesn't mean that they have to play for Leonard Fournette in certain games. There's certain games that he could not play at all. So I think that that has to be something that the Bengals definitely look at. But when you look at it from all standpoints, it just really makes sense for the Bengals to make this move. Let's say, for instance, you get Fournette. He has a good game. You're able to trade him to a team that needs a running back. Now, obviously, the Jacksonville Jaguars tried to do that, but that is now. There's going to be injuries that happen during the season. There's going to be season-ending ones that happen. And so essentially you could take Fournette, and let's say by week 4, week 5, someone goes down. You could trade Fournette to that team, get a draft pick for him, and still have a guy like Jaquez Patrick on your practice squad and call him back up. Or with Trevion or any of those guys, you could do the same. So for me, it just makes perfect sense for the Bengals to make this move. He's got great value. You're going to hear a lot of people say, hey, well, Leonard Fournette hasn't been that good and this and that. That's BS. He's not Jeremy Hill. He's had a solid career, and let's not get it twisted. I've never been a guy that was huge on Leonard Fournette. From day one during that draft, I said that he was kind of overrated. I felt like there were other running backs that should have been taken ahead of him. Notably, if you remember my tweets, Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon were guys that I would take over Fournette back then. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey. So for me, it was just kind of insane what people were saying that he's not good. He had a Pro Football Focus grade of 64 last year, which isn't amazing, but it was still good. He ran for 1,100 yards, so 4.3 rushing yards per attempt. That's not Jeremy Hill, okay? So he's had solid seasons. The Jags are really just in a position where they are tanking. It's not a surprise. So like a lot of people that are saying, hey, they got rid of Fournette because he's a locker room issue or knowing that. No, it's not. The real major motivation of this is that the Jags are tanking. They're starting over. That's why they just got rid of all of the guys. They just traded that defensive end this past weekend. And to me, it's just a move that has no downside. It all benefits the Bengals. So if it were me, I would definitely sign Leonard Fournette. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And as usual, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll leave you guys with a who day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday. New Stripe City is proud to announce that our channel has partnered with Fanatics, an NFL licensed merchandiser for NFL.com and Bengals.com as well. Through Fanatics, you can buy men's and women's and kids' Bengals apparel and jerseys, and also help grow our channel through using the links in our video description. When you do that, it truly helps grow the channel, and we did this because it allows Bengals fans to not only enjoy our content, but also get top-tier authentic Bengals merchandise. So if you're looking to get a new Burrow or T. Higgins jersey, or even a fresh hoodie or a hat, click on the link in our description, and when you do that, it helps support the channel. Now, when you order a rookie's jersey, and that by rookie I mean Joe Burrow or T. Higgins, it's a special event item, meaning that the NFL has to confirm rookie jersey numbers first before sending it out for production and shipment. And also with COVID-19, it also has slowed this process down as well. So one thing that you'll notice is that you may receive an initial delivery date of October, but that is due to those restrictions. I've been told by Fanatics' support team that once jersey numbers are confirmed and the supply is received, that the item will immediately ship out, meaning that you can expect to get your item sooner than October. However, if you have any questions about your order or when it's going to be shipped or any details, you can reach out to the Fanatics support team on Twitter at Fanatics Support. You can direct message them with your order number and they will give you an update on it. But your jersey is covered for up to 365 days. And this is something that applies to whether you buy it on NFL.com's NFL shop or the Bengals Pro Shop online. We all are under these restrictions. So bear with us. We appreciate it. And as usual, make sure that you're rocking with us on Who Day, all day, every day, and especially on Sunday.